So good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here today representing the HPSU team, and great to see such a full room here this morning. Today is about celebrating the success of our ambitious and resilient founders from the class of 2019, and also to give you the opportunity, like Julie says, to network with each other and to network with the investors and stakeholders that are here with us this morning. And we know the sacrifices that you've made to get to where you have the company today. And we also know the sacrifices that your families have made, because not only are there great founders behind these great companies, but there's also great families who sometimes have to take a temporary back seat while the company has to come first. And today we see what can be achieved when we work together, bringing your ideas, your ambition and your expertise together with our supports, our knowledge, our connections. And this is what we call the formula for success: Enterprise Ireland partnering with founders. And one of the things that we're sometimes asked is, what's the difference between a startup and a high potential startup? And I would say at its simplest, it is a fast growing export-led company led by an ambitious and a resilient founding team, people who have a dream, have a vision, have global ambition, matched by the essential capability to realise that ambition. They believe they can make a difference and they want to make some money along the way. And significant funding and resources will be needed to support this ambition and accelerate company growth. And you, the class of 2019, you really epitomise this ambition with 127 very diverse projects, 91 HPSU supported companies and 36 early stage projects funded through the Competitive Start Fund. And I can honestly say that our HPSU team have worked with such a great portfolio of projects across the last 12 months, from quantum computers to game-changing medical imaging, to chocolate that's good for you, which I'm a big fan of myself, to new banking platforms, which hopefully will be good for me. And the team worked through about 1,400 business propositions to identify and select these investments. And some, of course, we had previously backed through feasibility and through earlier stage funding, because we're trying to help the entrepreneurs develop their business plan and get them investment ready. So in terms of what we supported projects in ICT, in life sciences, in fintech, in food and manufacturing, with ICT being about 62% of those projects. And we also supported 16 new equity investments in our existing HPSU. So this is where I guess we're following our initial money. And it's great to see that there's a growing percentage of companies setting up outside the regions. We had 42% of companies who set up outside Dublin last year. It's a really important part of our mandate in Enterprise Ireland. Yes, we are a seed investor, acknowledged by PitchBook as the second largest seed investor globally last year. But first and foremost, we are a state development agency. We are about developing export-led enterprises. And we know that supporting the development of innovative new companies across the regions and maximising the talent that we have in these locations is vital to our agenda. We've great companies setting up in these locations because the founders are confident that they can attract and find the right business and the right talent, and they can do their business globally from there. And strong regional development will continue to be a priority for us. And Julie talked about our Women in Business strategy, which we launched in January of this year. So if you look back to 2012, 7% of our HPSU seed investments involved female founders, and we are currently at 21%. We're making progress, but we have a way to go to get equal gender balance across our founder teams. It's not just an Irish issue. These are discussions that are happening in places like the UK and Sweden and Norway, for example. And we recognise the barriers for female founders that are documented in international research, and we are tackling them head on. This is not about giving special treatment to women. This is about ensuring the supports are in place to create a level playing field. The international research also documents how businesses with diverse management teams, with diverse boards, with diverse thinking in the boardroom are more profitable businesses. So why wouldn't we encourage and support more female founders It makes good business sense. And last year we partnered with the third level institutions to support 13 new spin-out companies based on state-funded research that is genuinely disruptive. The research projects involved researchers who decided they were going to step out themselves and set up a new company, or for some of the researchers, they decided that the best way for them to do it was to link with an experienced business professional who goes on to lead the company while they continue to do what they love best: new research and leading the research team. And there's a great opportunity for experienced professionals who are looking for their new idea, their next business opportunity, to engage with us in our partnership with the third level. Last year, the bulk of the projects that we spun out from third level were in the life sciences sector, and it was challenging. It was challenging to get some of the projects moving. It was challenging to get some of the projects funded, because this is a sector that needs significant funding. And so this brings me to the next generation of HPSUs. Change times require some changes in approach, and we need to take a different approach to developing the next generation. So right across 2018 and 2019, we undertook extensive consultation with stakeholders and with founders with whom we had partnered. Some of the projects had succeeded and some hadn't. Some of the founders were re-engaging with us because they were going again, and some were founders who were going again but had decided not to engage with us a second time. We also looked internationally to see what people were doing overseas to make a great location for startups, a competitive location, especially fast-growing startups. And then we've also supported almost 1,000 HPSUs over the past decade. And with this has come the learnings and connections, not just from these companies, but also from our existing client base of 5,000 clients. Learnings and connections across markets, across sectors, from investors and from stakeholders. And not all of the learnings come from successes. Many of the learnings come from the challenging situations facing the founders, be it people-related, be it about managing cash flow, finding the first and the second customer, evolving business models. And having a strong offer to start and scale isn't just about the funding, it's all of the additional developmental supports available through Enterprise Ireland and through our strategic partnerships with stakeholders. Activities like Founders Forum, delivered by Select Strategies, a peer-to-peer network of our HPSU founders that supports them to work on the strategic challenges and, like we say, on the business rather than in the business. The City Insights programme, designed by our London team to help high-tech startups grow and capture opportunities in the British market. The HBAN Business Angels network that we sponsor and who make such a big impact at early stage development. The Innovate Accelerate programme run by the Dublin BIC for our early stage female founders. And of course, we also support clusters of companies to attend the best international events, such as Slush in Norway, or we work to get them in front of innovation teams in the top international companies, and or to participate in international buyers events that our overseas offices would organise here in Ireland. And I'd really like to acknowledge the vital work of these stakeholders, many of whom are in the room today, including our colleagues from the LEOs, from the BICs, from the accelerators, from the investment community, from New Frontiers, because these are all parts of our contribution to the formula for success. But alongside this formula, we knew we needed a new roadmap for the future that reflected the challenges that you were sharing with us, that would support the growth of the next generation of HPSUs, and would also help us develop Ireland as a great location, not just to start, but a great location to scale your company. And today we're delighted to launch Enterprise Ireland's new roadmap for high potential startups. So what did you tell us? More importantly, I know you're going to ask, what are we going to do about it? Or what are we doing about it? And what's different? So, early stage founders talked to us about how confusing they were finding the startup landscape, where to go or who to speak to about support. Professionals currently employed and thinking of stepping out wondered whether the supports were in place to help them make that leap, and it is a big leap. Our typical equity offer of 150 to 250,000, while effective in many cases, did not fully reflect the differences across HPSUs and what is needed to progress the most significant disruptive projects with significant R&D costs. And not all projects are the same. We also heard that our pre-seed offer through the Competitive Start Fund needed tailoring for more disruptive projects. In terms of the environment, are we in Ireland as competitive as other locations in our overall offer? And are we maximising the assets and intelligence across enterprises in Ireland? And by this I mean our existing Enterprise Ireland clients who are already on the scaling journey, and the cohort of multinational companies who have really put Ireland on the map for FDI investment. We want Ireland to be a great place to start and scale a fast-growing company. Starting a business isn't risk-free. Of course, there's no guarantee of success, and we need to continue supporting and encouraging our committed entrepreneurs as they strive to create the businesses of the future. Our ecosystem in Ireland, including the support networks, our attitude to risk-taking, our tax system, all have an important role to play in supporting investment in entrepreneurship and in providing a positive signalling mechanism to these entrepreneurs. So, we want founders of all nationalities in Ireland and overseas founders who are considering setting up to choose Ireland, because we have an Ireland team approach that ensures that they will get more bang for the buck here than anywhere else that they might choose to go. We want our founders to be best positioned to compete internationally and compete globally and win. And the two top line goals remain the same for us. We're still about supporting new companies to start and supporting them to scale internationally, but we will be taking a different approach. So we have 4 strategic objectives. The first is to build a strong HPSU pipeline with diverse founding teams across the regions. The second, to build fast-scaling HPSUs. These are HPSUs that are designed to grow rapidly from the get-go. The third, to continue to support our HPSUs internationally. And the fourth, to proactively work with stakeholders and third parties across Ireland so we can make Ireland a really, really competitive location, not just to start but also to scale. And so in terms of how are we going to work differently and what are we going to do? Number 1, we will target particular technologies, market opportunities, cohorts of founders such as female founders, international founders, serial founders, younger entrepreneurs, and we will play to our enterprise and research strengths in the regions. Number 2, we will have a greater focus on disruptive and rapid scaling projects, and these projects are going to need the appropriate funding and resources in place from the outset to give them the best chance of success. And number 3, we are bringing all parts of the ecosystem together to ensure that we are maximising all of the supports and the intelligence available across what we call Ireland Inc. So this is going to involve new funding instruments, new funding models, new funding programmes, new internal policies in Enterprise Ireland. We don't underestimate the challenges involved, but we're focused on the opportunities, because in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. So what I would say to the founders who are here today in the 127 companies, your companies are our businesses of the future, and you are our future industrial leaders. Celebrating your success here today is by far the biggest and most important event in the startup calendar in Enterprise Ireland. And I know that the teams led by my colleagues Niall McAvoy in ICT, Alan in Life Sciences and Terry in HPSU Operations have really enjoyed working with you, and we're looking forward to supporting you on the next step of your scaling journey. And now, before I hand back to Jonathan, we are just going to show you our new video around our new marketing campaign, the formula for success, and this is all about encouraging more promoters who will be building fast-growing export-led companies to come and talk to us in HPSU.
Startups. Some are born with global potential, but to turn that potential into global success, you need something more. You need a formula. A formula that brings together all the elements of success. Your ambition, our experience. Your vision, our investment. Your innovation, our support. Your team, our team. At Enterprise Ireland, we take your big idea and add the power of our network of investors, of advisors in every major market, of worldwide customers and partners, and a network of experienced entrepreneurs who've been there before you. It's a formula that's proven, a formula for success. Talk to Enterprise Ireland and discover the formula for your high-potential startup. Enterprise Ireland. If you've got the ambition, we'll help you take it global.
So, thank you.